Hey guys, welcome back. Part 3 here into the Intro to College and Readiness and Awareness. Your boy Nick's back and he's outside. I had to get out of the house. It was driving me crazy. So I came out here. Nice to kind of see nature every once in a while. Please, if you do go outside, just be safe. Kind of follow the guidelines. But I would strongly encourage to at least try to get out once a day maybe. Just for your own health. Okay, so this next video is going to be on common misconceptions when we look into applying for college and when we're there. So there's a lot that you might have heard from other people in your life, your parents, maybe friends who have gone. And I want to make sure that we get everything out there to make sure that you don't have any ideas that may not be true. Because let's be real, not everything we hear is true, right? It's things we hear on the news from our friends sometimes turns out to not actually have any kind of accuracy. So I want to make sure that when we're talking, we get everything laid out and that you have all the information you need to make the best kinds of decisions you can make about your future. Okay, let's get started into the first myth that I hear quite a lot. A lot of people think that when you go to college, if you make too much money or if your parents make too much money, you shouldn't apply for FAFSA. Now, the only time I would tell you not to apply for FAFSA is if you completely have all the money already paid for. You already have a full ride from some kind of scholarship that you already have. Even then, I would still recommend it because one, you'll have it on file if you ever need to in the future. And two, FAFSA is broken down into two different categories, right? Okay, so you can get grants and then you can get a loan. So grants are money that the government would give you that you don't have to pay back. This is just free money that you can spend on your education, transportation, housing, tuition, books, anything education related. Let's be real. Don't go out and buy a new car with that kind of money. Now, loans, that's a different thing. So if you get approved for a loan, then that means this is money that the government's going to borrow you and you'll have to pay it back after you're done at school. So yes, please apply. That myth is debunked. I would say always apply to FAFSA. Very, very few times where you shouldn't. It's free money and we can all use some of that, right? Okay, second one, I hear a lot of people say that, okay, when I apply for college, I should make myself look really good. This one is kind of in the middle. So you want to make yourself present the best information that you have and really present yourself as someone who the college could look at as an asset. Like you want them to see your application and be like, I want that person. I want Nick because he's the funniest guy I've ever talked to. I want that person, okay? But you have to be very careful. This also actually can apply to job interviews as well. You don't want to be someone you're not, okay? So when you're applying to a college, make sure the information's accurate. Don't put in anything that you can't back up. If they ask you a question, if you said you were in 5 different clubs or activities like post-school activities like extracurricular, and they say, oh, how are those clubs? You don't want to be put on the spot like that, and then also you don't want to be lying to a college institution like that. It's just not a good idea to do, and I would recommend staying away from it. But overall, this myth is kind of in the middle. So you want to package yourself well, but not to the point where you're telling lies. All right, let's hit up the third myth, okay? So the third myth that I hear a lot about is that you want to be a very well-rounded student, right? Okay, the sun is a little bright there. Whoa, what is going on? Okay, let's try here. Okay, third myth. You should have a well-rounded application, right? A lot of activities, a lot of clubs, a lot of volunteer work. While that is good, colleges are actually focusing more now on passionate candidates, passionate students that have a few interests, a few clubs, a few activities that they're interested in, but they're very passionate about it. They love what they do. This kind of shows the college that this is a driven person. This isn't just some all-arounder trying to get in. You know, they have something to offer the college. So I would maybe recommend not putting everything if you have a lot to list, but putting maybe the ones that are interesting to you the most, the ones that mean the most to you, because that can really show a college that you're different from others, and that's what college is like. You need to set yourself apart and show them why they should accept you. Okay, coming at you with the fourth myth. This one's a little different. So a lot of people say, look, if I have bad grades, my essay and other parts of my application will kind of carry me through the application process. I'm sorry to burst your bubble, but grades are the single best indicator. GPA is the single best indicator of whether or not someone is going to get accepted into college. Does that mean that's the only indicator? Does that mean you have to have a 4.0 to get accepted? No, the college is going to look at a multitude of factors, but if your grades are poor, you're really going to have to set yourself apart, because colleges want students that are going to pass classes and going to increase their outcomes. It makes them look better. They get more money if you complete your degree. So grades are important, but they're not everything. Okay, I'm on my way home, but I'm gonna hit you with that fifth myth before I get there. So that one is, well, my friend got into the same college that I applied to, and I have better grades than my friend, so I should get in too, right? You have to be careful with this one, because you don't know why your friend got in, and you don't know what they base their application status on. So make sure that when you apply to this college, you base it on how well you're doing. Don't base it off of other people. Your application is completely different, and they're gonna treat it that way too. So make sure that you take care to not fall into that myth trap, okay? So anyway, I'm gonna catch you in the next video. I'm gonna head home, and stay safe.